Is up, PTU crew? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Pokemon TV Unlimited. I'm your host, Pika Papa, and we are going to talk about the Pokemon market today. Generally, we're going to kind of focus on Fusion Strike and Prismatic Evolutions, but I might ramble off and talk about a couple other things, a few channel updates and information. If you don't know me or you're new to the channel, my name is Pika Papa, and we do openings on this channel, and we do market videos like this, where I basically go over more of the theory of investing rather than going over this price or that price, even though that gets dabbled in a little bit as we, monitor things and look at things. I am also a seller on eBay and TCG Player. You can find me under Pokemon TV Unlimited on eBay, where I have 100% seller satisfaction rating, which I'm very proud of. I try to, really try to go all out for my customers and try to make sure that they're happy on their purchases and on what I offer, prices and shipping and everything like that. I just started a TCG Player where I'm also 100%, but I only have, maybe 15, 20 sales, but a lot of those sales are like really good high-end boxes, not that many single cards. And when I do sell single cards, I tend to sell them on eBay, but when I sell them on TCG Player, they tend to be a little bit on the higher end, or mid. I guess it would be mid-range cards. Higher end is like thousands, but so if you are a channel member and you do buy from me, on TCG Player, I'm on Poke TV Unlimited because they wouldn't let me put Pokemon. Just send me a message, and I usually try to send a little extra, or maybe if I don't have anything that I think is kind of cool to send you, I'll probably give you a little discount. With that being said, we are just past 300 subscribers. So if you are a new member to the channel, I appreciate it. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. At least leave a like and a comment on this video. It goes a long way for the algorithm. We are going to try to push towards that 1,000 at the end of this year. If I could get to 400 or 500, that'd be really nice. I am thinking about a giveaway. I used to do giveaways more often, but I'm planning on maybe towards my birthday in May, we're going to try to push out a giveaway and try to bring some new people into the channel that haven't been watching or returning, maybe. With all that gone, let's get into it. Let's start with Fusion Strike. It's kind of bonkers. I think the lowest is around 470 on TCG Player. We are creeping up to that $500 mark. I think a lot of the Sword and Shield sets in general are underpriced. Now is still a good time. I know that there's people, and I've argued against them. I'm not going to name names. There's people that were saying that at 140, you've already missed the boat on Chilling Reign and other sets like that. Chilling Reign is still a buy for me. I think there's some room for some growth. I got in one box, and I'm going to go into a little bit of that. Some things that Rudy had said, but I got into one box of Lost Thunder, and I made $200 on it. Bought it for a little under 500 and sold it for 700. There's still money to be made once a box reaches a certain price. We're talking about the Sword and Shield era. Those are proven products that people already are looking to add to their collections, buy to rip open, and they're already proven. They're past the reprint window. The odds of them getting a reprint are almost zero. They're a safer bet than, like, say, a Surging Sparks or some other sets that are probably going to end up getting a reprint. We'll talk about reprints a little bit later on. I don't want to ramble too on. Fusion Strike, let's go back to the main point. Fusion Strike was a set that nobody wanted. Some people, yes, very amount, but the majority of people hated on it. Fusion Strike out. It came off of the heels of Celebrations and Evolving Skies and was just forgotten, slept on big time. That and Chilling Reign, where you could find the boxes in the 80s for the longest time. Sub 100s all day for a long time. So if you got in $150 or less, look how well you're doing. And people are probably saying when Fusion Strike, not a lot of people were even talking about it, They definitely said it about Chilling Reign. When Fusion Strike got to the 140s, 150s, oh, you missed out. Focus on something else. Blah, blah, blah. The risk is too high. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just like total stupidity. I personally, the set isn't that strong of a set. I think Chilling Reign is a stronger set. I think Chilling Reign should be worth more. More Chilling Reign was probably ripped than Fusion Strike. Or maybe because Fusion Strike was cheap. People went out of it and they opened it for fun because they could get it for $80 all day. Maybe there's a scarcity in the market, or people haven't brought their boxes to market. Gengar is a super popular Pokemon. That VMAX Alt Art is one of the top three. It might even be number 2. I think in price it's number 2. Probably is number 2 behind the Moonbryon. It's just a super strong card. Then has the Espeon Alternate Art VMAX, which was in Japanese, which was a special promo if you bought the double box set of Eevee Heroes, which is a rare box to have, and that card is a super great card. I was lucky enough to pull it out of a sleep pack at Walmart. Very happy with that card. For a long time, they were battling neck and neck, and we would talk about, this is the video we were talking about it, who would end up winning that battle. Well, it was Gengar by a lot. But if you go past those 2 cards, yeah, there's the Mew cards, but I think they're personally undervalued right now. But the market doesn't claim that they're that strong because the prices, I mean, the Mew VMAX is what, $90? I haven't checked in a while. It might be maybe 100, and then the V is like 40 something. If it was a really cut of card, look at the other big alternate RV cards. The Giratina, which is obviously in another stratosphere. But if you even look at the other cards right below it, the other stronger V cards, the Umbreon and the Dragonite around 100, the Rayquaza, in the 80s, 90s, and it's sitting at 45. If it was such a strong card and people really liked it, it should be around the $70, $80 mark, yeah? Which I believe it probably should be, and it is currently undervalued. But the set in general, there's a big drop-off. It's not a bad set. I think it's a good set. I always thought it was a pretty decent set. But when you compare it to Chilling Reign, and Chilling Reign is just, I believe, crept up into the 300s, being over $100 and something more, I think that's just a gap that really shouldn't be there. Second to that, and this is going to be the last comment on Fusion Strike, and we'll move on to Prismatic Evolutions. Fusion Strike was the set that they scammed all those cards out of. There were stacks and stacks of those cards, and even when I bring up, a lot of people don't remember. There was a couple other little instances where some cards got taken out of other sets or whatever, or they found someone with a certain amount of cards, and there was, but there were that big story of there was stacks. The picture of that guy, he had stacks that big or higher. We're talking hundreds of each of the big hits. I believe, in my personal opinion, by the timing, I believe it was at that second wave, because we were on the wave system for that second half of Sword and Shield, where they were doing it in 3 waves. The first wave being the biggest, and they would taper it down, but booster boxes were coming in those waves. So if you're really trying to open those boxes and chase those cards, good luck to you. I was able, like I said, pull it out of a sleeve booster. I was able to pull the Mew V alternate art, luckily. But I opened up several Fusion Strike booster boxes and trying to chase those cards, and I didn't get any of them, really. Even the rainbows are so hard to hit anyways, but I mean, for instance, the Italian, $20-something, low 20s for that VMAX Alt Art. The VMAX Alt Arts are like a 1 every 4 or 5 booster boxes. To get one VMAX Alt Art, you don't know which one you're going to get. So to pull a specific one, you're talking that card specifically is maybe 1 out of 10 or 12 booster boxes. Very rare, very hard to get, $20-something. The individual cards are undervalued. whatever happened to all those cards? I doubt they made it back on the market. If the investigators they probably were destroyed. I doubt they just gave them back to people. Maybe they gave them to employee. I don't know. But whatever happened to them, they're not in the booster boxes, let me tell you that. And a majority of them. Obviously, there's the first and third waves, but when you go, like, you don't know what wave you're getting. And it's just, it's a tainted set in my mind. It is what it is. The market markets, and the market is saying it's a $500 booster box. Prismatic Evolutions is going to release in a little over a week. Not this coming Friday, but next Friday. This video should come out on Tuesday the 7th. So we're looking at 10 days. Maybe I was talking to you. I have my only pre-order I have in is I have pre-ordered 4 through GameStop. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, they come through. I talked with the store. They said they're going to get them a little bit early so they could have them for pre-orders. So I'm going to be going there on Wednesday, hoping they have them. I'm going to keep going in because I want to be one of the first ones to get them so I can get my pre-order. Because the guy was telling me that someone went in there and pre-ordered 20 of them. And they were in the beginning, they were just accepting. And we know, I talked to a local LGS of mine. He ordered 3 cases. So he ordered 30 ETBs. He got 2. Not 2 cases, 2 ETBs. Now, I have a feeling that his Pokemon purchases aren't very large. Normally, they get a couple cases, but he doesn't buy a whole lot. And so that's why he got divvied in what he got. And his rep told me he was lucky to get that. So pray to God Pika Papa gets his 4. If we're cut in half and we only get 2, I may not be able to open one. My plan was to open one on the channel. Obviously, I'm investing in them too. I have almost no doubt in my mind, judging by the history and what Pokemon has done in the past, there will be a reprint of Prismatic Evolutions. Probably near the summer, late summer, by August, or at the end of the year maybe. But this is what I was going to say, we're going to come back to when we're talking reprints, because I said Surging Sparks is probably going to get a reprint. We're getting to that point where they've been really controlling the print runs, where they have new stuff and new products coming out. They only have so much printer space. They only have so much time. They cannot reprint every set. They're not going to reprint every set. We've already seen reprints, restocks of Paldea Evolved, and what was the other one they got to restock? I know Paldea did. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, I mean, if they do reprint, not restock, but do a reprint, like they're out and go to the printers again for a restock of Paldea Evolved, it's probably not going to be that big. The reprints of any set that they choose to do is probably not going to be humongous. If they are going to print anything heavily, it's going to be Prismatic Evolutions and possibly maybe 151. We're seeing that go way out of control. Which is funny because I believe for a while, until the Scarlet and Violet era, we've been seeing kind of Crown Zenith was pretty good, but we've been seeing some lackluster specialty sets. But now we got 2 behemoths in the same block. Say they reprint them both, then what main sets get reprinted? Twilight Masquerade, maybe? Maybe Paldea Evolved again. We have some big hitting sets coming down the line, Team Rocket, and we have the Together something that's going to be the next main series sets. Are they going to be bringing back tag teams? If they do, those boxes are going to go nuts. People love tag teams. It's obviously, if we look back at the end of Sun and Moon, very strong sets. They're going to do well in the future. Are they going to, if those sets go nuts like Surging Sparks has gone nuts, are they going to be able to reprint those? They're going to have a reprint problem. And not every set is going to get a chance to get reprinted. We are like fastly moving to the next block. If the next block is a little slow like Scarlet and Violet was, they might have that little window to go back and reset some late reprints. So we're going to keep our eye on that. We might be seeing some late reprints of Scarlet and Violet because of how they decided to hold back the printing on these. And when I say hold back, they printed a lot of these sets, a lot of boxes. We don't know the numbers, they don't release them, but they printed a good amount. But we're talking about where they go back and they reprint later than they have been in the past. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But they're not gonna be able to reprint every set. So I really believe some of the nice little targets, because I opened up with Fusion Strike on purpose. No one would have thought back in the day that Fusion Strike was going to be that set that eclipsed some of the other sets. Yes, we haven't still seen, obviously, Lost Origin is very many sets newer than Fusion Strike. We haven't seen it go on its run yet, as well as Brilliant Stars. It'll be interesting to see what 1, 2, 3 years bring us on those sets and where Fusion Strike compares to those. But Fusion Strike's trajectory is kind of telling us it might end up being the number 2 or number 3 set when this all washes out. Only time will tell. But it gives us a clue on what we might need to look at Scarlet Violet. We might need to look at a what is it? The set with the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur. My mind is lost right now. But some of those sets, like a Temporal or a some of those other ones that are like, second, third tier in our minds at right now, but might end up being the bigger sets if they don't get as many reprints as some of these sets that are really popular right now. Popularity and demand will always push the market harder than supply. I mean, like I said, it's in relation to supply. So even if we have a lower supply of a less popular set, but the demand isn't there, we're still going to see the market price booster boxes that have more out there at a higher price because the supply versus the demand is a greater disparity in the ratios. You know what I mean? Like, we're just going to have to wait and see. But my main point is, after all that little rambling, is don't take your eyes off of the second and third tier sets in the Scarlet and Violet era. The Temporals, the Paradoxes, the what's that little blue one? You know what I'm talking about. It came out right around Shrouded Fables time. I don't know why with the Tropicos in it. Oh no, is it? Yeah. The name will probably be on the screen or something like that. It's hard to call which set's going to do well. That's why it's good to diversify. But right now, I think the smart money, if you're really trying to, is to look at these sets that are out of the reprint window. Crown Zenith, if you want a special set that's a sleeper a little bit right now, but you might, if you can build up a good position in Crown Zenith, you're not going to get hurt. I think it's going to be poised to take off here in the next 2025, 2026. It's just too good of a set. There's just too many good cards. When you think about buying a set and buying an allotment of cards, it's a lot deeper set than a Fusion Strike. It doesn't have the high-end bangers. It's high-end hits or gold cards, which are not super overly popular when you talk about a card type, but its pull of cards is extremely strong. All the top Pokemon are in it. Obviously, you got a couple cool Pikachus. You got the Charizard fighting Mewtwo. And you have the gold cards of the gods, the legendary god types. So, to wrap this up, it went a little longer. I only wanted to do 15 minutes, but just to wrap this up, the Pokemon market is obviously in a bull market right now. We're seeing a lot of sets go up. Even Danny Phantom just did a video how we're seeing Pokemon Go creep up a little bit. You guys know that Pokemon Go, as far as my position, we'll talk about positions in a little bit, in the video. I invested a decent amount in Pokemon Go. I have a lot of Pokemon Go products. I've been letting go of a couple of them here and there and break even, losing couple buck prices, just because I want to, flip that money into other things. I still have several Pokemon Center ETBs, which I think it's still up. It might have just went out of stock at the Pokemon Center. I have, a sealed case of the pin collection, which I think is super cute because it's the starters. Several of those EV boxes, those Dragonite cubes. So I have a decent amount in it, and I think it's going to have its day, as I've been saying. But if that's one set you could get into right now at MSRP, and kind of you don't have dead money for the last couple years, and I think it's going to start moving over the next couple years. Celebrations has been moving up. The Elite Trainer box is eclipsed $100. The Pokemon Center one might be one to target and move in on. It's only a few dollars difference, and there's less of those. But I don't know. A lot of people rip those other ones, so the numbers might be closer than we think. Who knows? But in time, I think it's gonna separate itself because it has more in it. It's a beautiful box. And I think actually Celebrations is still very reasonable to get in on. When we get closer to the 30th anniversary, we're going to see a spike, especially if this bull market holds into the 30th anniversary. We're going to see a spike in the 25th anniversary. About positions, lately Rudy has let it slip a couple of times that he doesn't think a position is a few booster boxes. Well, to those, I know he's a millionaire and he has a lot of money to move around, and he's been doing it for 27 years. So he's been able to sell stuff, move into other products, and build and build and build his positions. To the rest of the little people out there, a booster box or two is a position. It's all relative in ratios. To someone like Rudy, there's only a couple of Rudys out there, and there's only one real Rudy out there. The rest of us who have bills and mortgages and, working class people, a couple booster box is a position. So don't think that if you're only able to put one or two and your sealed collection consists of just a few boxes, that doesn't mean that you're not investing. That doesn't mean that you're just smaller. If you bought a one Chilling Reign booster box at $85 shipped to your door, and now it's $3 something, and after fees and everything, you're going to make probably double your money profit, $160, and your $80 back. You did really well, and you did an investment, and that, even if it's small. It's just like if Rudy bought a pallet and sells a pallet and makes, $190,000, that's, to him, that's not as much it is, as the $160 might be to you, because then you could flip that into another box and ride the same wave, and that's okay. We're definitely going into the mid-20s here. We're going to end it there. So even a small position is a position. I've built a bunch of small positions, and, I ended up I've sold a lot recently because I was between jobs, but luckily, congratulations, full-time employed again. And I'm going to start building back up, but I still probably have $25,000 in Pokemon. To some that may be chump change, to some that may seem like a crazy amount. It's all relative to you. So remember what Pika Papa always says, you got to catch them all. Bye. Remember to like and subscribe if you are new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet. Go ahead and just push that button. Just go push it now. Just push it.